Hi everyone. In this part of Module 4, you're going to learn how to make a journey map. It's a really classic tool that's used in human-centered design and innovation. Let's recap for a minute. We're in step 2, where you're going to be researching what people need, defining problems, and gathering inspiration. And a journey map is one tool that can help you do that. So what are journey maps? It's one type of framework to help you synthesize information. A framework is a kind of model that you can use or a tool that you can use to be able to organize your thinking and synthesize some of the research and data that you've gotten when you're out doing research in what we call the field, which means just out in the world. A journey map's purpose is the process of mapping the process of an experience, the actions, emotions, thoughts, and issues that a user will experience during the context of a problem and or use of a product. So in class a couple of weeks ago, you looked at a commute. And if you're looking at someone's commute and you look at the steps, like the image you see here of a journey map with each individual place on a journey or event on a journey, a journey map for someone's commute might be get your keys, leave your apartment, go to your car, start your car. That's kind of a basic journey map that just talks about all of the actions that you're doing. And to get more information about journey mapping, see page 89 to 91 of the IDEO Field Guide to Human-Centered Design. They'll give you some different kinds of frameworks and explain what a journey map is. And also, it's worth noting that the empathy map that was mentioned also in this module is another kind of framework. So here's an example of a bunch of different kinds of journey maps. So if you look, you can see ones that are sketched out by hand, others that are created in graphic software, some that will be created in a tool that you'll learn about later in this presentation. But the key thing, if you look at these, is you see points on a journey. It's basically a list of things that are happening. And then it looks at different kinds of details, like the emotions that people might experience or a problem that they might have. So what are all these descriptors of a human being's journey, of a user's journey, while they're experiencing something or using a product? So what I'd like you to do is pause this presentation and go to smaply.com and sign up for a 14-day free account. You're going to be trying out this software that's going to be able to teach you how to make a journey map. You can watch the 2 tutorials that are listed below, try out the software and get a feel for creating journey maps, and grab some screenshots along the way. You can use this tool in your teams to be able to do research about your customer, your user, and this will be part of your homework, either to use this tool or even just pen and paper to sketch out a journey map of at least one example of your customer. As I mentioned, if you want to sketch, here's a patient journey that someone, they took pen and paper and created it. So if you look on the left there, we have Mark, who is 20 years old. He's from Nanaimo. He's attending UBC for engineering. He loves running. He has a girlfriend, Amanda. That description of Mark is what's called a persona. It's a general description of a user that usually includes their age, a little bit of their context, things that they like. And as we follow Mark on his patient journey map, it looks at different things that he's faced as he's entered engineering school. He said he's shy, so that's a difficulty. Sometimes in journey maps we want to put emotions. The next little block there says starts to have difficulty concentrating, which is what we call a pain point. It's when there's a sort of painful point in someone's journey where they're struggling or there's something they have to overcome or there's some kind of discomfort. And those are going to be opportunities for designing and places where your innovation can potentially help. As you can see, this journey map of Mark, it goes across quite a bit of time from, having a happy childhood at the very beginning of his life until today. You can also look and see that this particular journey map looks at health issues, mental health issues, education issues, and just general habits and ways that Mark is in his life. And it maps out where he could use help. And it's a way that people could start to talk about different kinds of interventions, different kinds of ways to be able to deliver him that help. So that's where journey maps are a great tool to be able to describe a human being's experience, to be able to understand how they might be helped. Now, when you're journey mapping, all of those little details you're going to put into the journey map, you're going to get from your interviews, from observing people in their everyday life, and then showing initial maps to potential users and say, did I capture it right? Does this really represent the journey that you're on, whether you're commuting or trying to get health care, or maybe even like organizing a community event? So these are the kinds of things that you're going to look at. You can think about it like the material and the data that you're going to assemble into your journey map. And here are some helpful tips as you're trying to make a journey map. You can list out the steps in a list first. So what happens first, second, third, fourth, fifth? What are the different kinds of events in that person's journey that you want to capture? You also want to mark which points in the journey are easy for someone, which could be called frictionless points, where things are going very smoothly or going well. And then the difficulties, the pain points that we mentioned, where someone's struggling with something, or something's not working, or something's in their way. In your journey map, you definitely want to put in there different aspects of the customer experience, their emotions, unmet needs, reactions, and any other aspect of their life or their experience that you think is important. You can also insert direct quotes. If you have direct quotes where you're observing someone and they say something interesting, or you have a quote from an interview that will go in a particular point in that journey, you can insert that. It really helps to have the voice of the user directly when you can, to be able to really convey what they think and what they feel. Now, for all of you, you might come up with 4 or 5 different journey maps as your data that are going to help inform your innovation. You might have, for example, say you were doing the commuting problem that we had a few weeks ago. You might want to have someone who is a commuter who has a very long commute with a lot of intricacy. And then you might want to have somebody else whose commute is very, very easy. Maybe it's just going from their living room to their office, their home office. And maybe for someone else, they're carpooling. So you want to really have different kinds of journey maps for the different aspects of the customer experience that would be able to inform the innovation that you're creating. For your homework assignment, you only have one, but I would encourage you to do more than one to help you in your projects really understand what the user experience is. All right, so I encourage you, go to Smaply, get your account, your trial account, try it out, take some screenshots of what you're doing, and those tutorials will bring you through. All right, time to get to work.